All right, two things before I start this rant because this is going to be a rant. Um, I don't know if I'm going to call this the bootlicking has to stop. I needed a title. That was the first thing that came to my mind because I'm going to be talking about two different things, and I don't know where is this going to go. But all I know is I'm going to rant. And two, the Carmelo Anthony. I think we're going to be talking about that situation much more dire on the podcast tomorrow. But now I just wanted to get my opinions out on this because I don't know what I'm going to say tomorrow. Again, I know what's happening, but I don't know what the fuck I'm going to say tomorrow, or if what I'm going to say tomorrow I'm going to say here. So therefore, I just needed to get this out right now. Um, I want to start by saying this. When I always say this, going into the Navy, you realize there are bigger problems than you, especially for Black people. It's good to understand that sometimes you got to go outside your space and understand, like, yo, there's a lot of bigger issues. So some things that personal to me, it won't bother me because I feel like, yo, everybody's going through shit, cultural wise, ethnicity wise, country wise, and some shit like that. So sometimes where it's matters to me, and I will shrug over. But with that being said, and also in the words of Jay Z, I know there's bigger issues in the world I know. But first, let me take care of the world I know. And this right here is one of those world I know things. Now, the whole Carmelo Anthony, not the basketball player, uh, but that situation, that shit is what the shit is wild because two things. I sometimes like I expect from white people that they're trying to label things as a hate crime, and they don't even understand what a hate crime is or what will instill as a hate crime. And it's not and half of the times, and this is what I can't stand about white people. Now be mindful. I have I have white friends that I call my brothers. Like because of the Navy. There are some white people that I've been with, like we've been through thick and thin. I call them my brothers and my sisters. It's like some the people that I was in the hull maintenance technician field in the USS Harry S. Truman. All those people, those are my brothers and my sisters. That's my family. All right. We done been through some blood. Anybody that went with me during that time and you was at HT during that time, y'all my family. Y'all like even the people that I hate and I did not get along with at all, I will still consider them family because hell, you don't like everybody in your family, but that's the people you came with. Choose your rate, choose your fate. With that being said, my one pet peeve about white people and what they do, and like everybody does this, and it's that you throw your stones and you hide your hands. You throw your stones and you hide your hands. Most of the time, where I see white people, they do something that is either prejudice or very racist to black people. And then when a black person retaliates, then y'all want to act all, oh, why do you have to put his hands on me? Like, especially when it comes to the word nigga. Y'all know y'all not allowed. I know y'all created the word, but y'all also know y'all not allowed to say that word. And yet y'all still want to agitate black people by doing that. And y'all know, and we know when you do that because you will literally use it as a slur. Like I understand, like sometimes you like your favorite rapper may be black and you use the terms of endearment. Me personally, I let that slide. I mean, is it like even if you quoted something and a black person, you're quoting a black person and he says that, I will let that slide. That's me personally. Everybody else is different. Me personally, I'll let that slide. But but black people, we're not stupid. We know when you use the word as a slur. That's why we look at you dumb when you go, well, why can't we use it? This is just, and then the question I always go with, why do you want to use it? Why do you want to use it so badly? You know what that word is, and yet you still want to do. But I think it's just that us telling like it's like the only thing that black people we hold so tightly is just that when a white person says nigga, we may fuck you up. And white people they know that. That's why like whenever they in a place where they know that no black person is going to touch you, y'all let that shit fly. Y'all let it fly, and y'all let it fly so racistly. Like especially in Call of Duty years, y'all let that racism. Ooh, that shit is top ranked racism, and it's just blah. Like yeah, it comes from your diaphragm. It comes from the bowels of whatever white supremacy feeling that y'all have, and y'all use that word so vehemently in that fucking word. So, and it's motherfucking obvious. So when we see shit like that, we know that that came from a racist movement. So it's like we're not talking out our ass, and like that's the one thing. Like I always tell, like white supremacy had is that when y'all do something and we call it out, y'all can at least say no. Oh shit. Okay. I'm sorry, I was looking at something different. But yeah, when we say, well, oh, y'all did some racist shit and all that other stuff, y'all can at least say, oh no, it wasn't racist, and then you try to hide it and some shit like that. Y'all used to doing that. Y'all really got worse at it now because now some of y'all are just admitting it. Like I always said, the thing about white supremacy and their power was the power of white to me. The power of white supremacy is letting people know that there actually isn't no white supremacy. But since white people are letting people know that, oh no, there is a white supremacy thing, it takes away your power. Because, and that's why, like, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, I feel like if I was white supremacy, I would hate people like Nick Fuentes or like anybody that says, oh, yeah, we're trying to take power, or so yeah, white supremacy exists. I think like the whole time y'all was telling people white supremacy don't exist, that we look crazy. Y'all had that as an advantage, but now that people see that now, and you have white people actually doing it now you look fucking stupid. So y'all just to me y'all lost that power of white supremacy. But also, and I say this all the time, that I've seen it, and like we done seen it in videos. Now it's in video forms. It's just like, especially when it comes to authority figures, it's just white people are so different than, or like anytime when a white person feels like they're better than a black person, you can hear it in their voice. You can see they talk better than you can hear it in their voice. You can see it in their actions, especially when someone is in a higher, they feel like they're in a higher echelons. It's just like they act like total assholes, like real classy assholes. Now, here's the thing. I'm not even mentioning white people in this one. Again, the Carmelo Anthony situation, we're going to talk about that on the podcast. What I want to get into, and like I said, to me, there's worse things than white people racist, and that's black bootlicking. Because and like I tell people all the time, there's worse things than racism, and I say racial ignorance. This is just my thing. Like if you agree with me, you agree with me. If you don't, you don't. But to me, what's worse than racism? Racial ignorance is that you sometimes you see it happening and yet you still try to deny it. Like you will see it happen in your face. Black people, we will literally show you it. We have it on video, and yet there are people who will go and try to justify it. It is so much. I can understand white people doing it sometimes where it's just like, well, maybe if it, but when a black person does it, that irks the bottom of the soul. Like it gets you just like, this happens. Hell, half of the times it's happened to them, and yet you still want to try to justify it. Well, maybe it was because no, motherfucker, you wasn't in the wrong. The one time, I'm gonna tell you this story, right? And this happened in the military. I'm not gonna say no names, but they know it happened. But one of my higher ups was a black dude with a beard. He was a black dude. He was repo, repair officer. It was like he was an officer. He was a chief warrant officer, but he was a repair officer, right? Black dude. He was like nice dude, but I used to be intimidated by him because he didn't play that shit, and like he just had this. Let's just say like He's a good dude. But when he walked in, he had that I'm unfuckwittable attitude. Like you just did not want to fuck with him at all. But me and him were both Cowboys fans, so we was just like, so that's just something that me and him had. But like, I respected him to the highest degree. He knows that. But sometimes I'm not gonna hold you. That man was intimidating. um, there was one time where like one of the second class told me, could you throw the drink? Could you put the laundry in the laundry chute and all that other stuff, right? And I said, okay, no problem, cool. I went to go take a shower, and then but I didn't know that the drink closes at 12, or after 12 they don't take no more. I thought you could just throw it in there anytime. So so when I came back, it was just and like it was a Sunday morning. I just woke up. I haven't gotten eaten, so I showered, ate, and then I was like, all right, let me go do the journey. I come back down, and dude's mad, and it was just like, yo, why didn't you put such and such? I said, I'm about to do that now. It was like it's closed. I said, I didn't know they closed it to it, and since she was, and then I looked at him, I was like, well, since she was doing it, how come you didn't put it up? And then he grabs my collar, and reluctantly, I go off for him. I said, don't grab, and I was like, don't ever fucking grab me like that. Now, I left that alone. Like, I left that alone, but he did that in front of people. He did that in front of some of my homeboys, and like sometimes the guy he could be a little uh gung ho. I just want to say that he could be a little gung ho sometimes. White kid though, be a little gung ho. Now, again, I let that I let that slide. I told him don't ever grab me like that and all that stuff. Like we had a little tiff, and then like next time or so. Now again, I let the shit go, but the way he was like, um, he apologized, but he didn't apologize. And then he was like, but I was honest with him too. It was just like, he was like, "Am I an asshole?" He goes, "Am I an asshole?" He was like, and I looked at him and said, "No, you're an asshole." I don't know why you even asked that question. He was like, "No, you're an asshole." And like he wasn't mad at the answer. He was just like, "You know this is an asshole." But I also told him if I knew that, and I told him I said if I knew that it closed at 12, I'd have gone and did it. You already know that. And then that was what I was like. That was the one thing I was like really mad at. Not the fact that he grabbed me or it was like that I was being ignorant or like disrespectful. I didn't know it closed at a certain time. And I told him if I knew that, I'd have just did that in the gate. But since I was like, I woke up, I showered, and it was a Sunday. It was like I didn't even have to go to work until like after 1 or something. It was like after 1 or something like that. I come later, later on by the repo and a couple other people. My higher ups, the chiefs and the higher ups. It was just like, cause it was like, yo, what happened in the? It was like, yo, what happened in the Berlin? Berlin is where we slept at. What happened in the Berlin? I was like, what are you talking about? Something about yo the second class put. I'm not gonna say his name, but yeah, the second class done put his hands on your car. I was like, yeah, he did, but we squashed it. I was honest. I didn't lie, but I did. It was like, yeah, he did put his hands. He put his hands on my collar. I cursed off on him. So and I and explained to him the situation. That I didn't know. I said I take responsibility. I was like, I take responsibility of doing that because I didn't know. I was like, but the repo was there, and he was like, nah, fuck. Now he didn't say it like this, but it was more or less like on the lines of, nah, fuck that, dog. He put his hands. Nah, he put his hands like he don't need to be doing it like that. If anything, he could have did it himself, like you said. He could have did it himself. He was just, and he was going off, and he had to talk to me 1-on-1. He was like, I understand you just being in, trying to be a good sailor squash that shit, but some things you can't let slide. Again, I'm paraphrasing this whole conversation because he, like, it was a while ago, but that was everything he was saying. Like sometimes, like these boys do be kirking off, they be trying to do stuff out of hands, and sometimes they'll do stuff that they shouldn't be doing. Like putting his hands on you was under like there's one thing, and I did it. I was like, because I was trying to dissolve the situation, and I took accountability of my end, but he was like, "Damn that." The repo was like, "Damn that." I was like, "Yes, sir, yes, sir," and all that stuff. Now, I wasn't even mad at the people that told because they felt the type of way, and I guess he's been doing that for a while to where that was the last straw. And they told me, and one dude, he was a Puerto Rican dude, but you're right, it was a Puerto Rican and someone else. I think it was one of my other homeboys. I think I can't remember the other person, but one of them was Puerto Rican. I knew that, but they fucked with me heavy. But they said they saw that, and they was like they told the higher ups. So after that, I told them the honest truth and all that stuff. So there are times where like, yeah, some of them they do have the audacity, they do like to push, but sometimes you cannot just be pushing people like that. So with that being said, the bootlicking. I was like random stories. Like sometimes you just can't be letting people slide on there. And here's where I'm getting into right now. Now, again, we're gonna be talking about the Carmelo Anthony situation on the podcast. What I want to get into is Charleston White and Anton Daniels. Not so much on Anton, but more or less on Charleston White. And the only reason I might get on Anton because I see Anton he do a little soft shoeing, but Charleston White, and I've previously had videos on Charleston White about how I felt about Charleston White. I don't like Charleston White. I think he's the biggest hypocrite, and I don't know why the fuck he's famous, and I don't know why the fuck like people keep giving him a platform. I understand that there are some things I do agree with him on, but I don't think he's good for the community. Not even though he has done stuff for the community. I personally don't think he's good for the community. I think he's a hypocrite, and you can tell he's just after shit like money. Now, the whole thing about him saying like he did that just to prove a point and some shit like that, like whether that is true or not, I don't like the way he goes at people because sometimes like he goes after gangbangers and like you should snitch on the gangbangers and some shit like that. How many times have you seen like to me Charles White is a big hypocrite because like I understand like gang violence is a big ass problem in the community. I will admit that. But why the fuck are you going around agitating gang members? Like he to me he put a target on his back that he didn't need to do. I feel like if he would have done it, I feel like there was other ways of doing it. I feel like the only reason he's doing this because I feel like it's making him money, and he's getting money off of that. That's why people look at him. He's not a dumb dude. I don't think he's a dumb dude. I just think he's a fucking hypocrite. And he's just a fuck, and he'll tell you, "Fuck it, I do it for the money." You can tell when he just do stuff for the money because he'll fucking collaborate with the people he's with, and then he'll curse out the people he's with and just fuck them. He's akin to nobody but his motherfucking self. And he tells you this. I'm pretty sure I'm not saying the obvious. He probably tell you this his motherfucking self, but yet people keep putting him on shit because he sees some shit about the black community. People go, "Oh, well, Charles is right now." Again, there's some stuff I agree with Charleston White on. Don't get me wrong. I still don't think he's good for the community. And sometimes I feel like he's not the one that should be talking for our people. So I kind of get agitated when I see him, especially since the nigga be bootlicking a lot. So, what do I mean by bootlicking? Let me answer your question right here. Actually, I am going to use. I think since I am the only one here, I can just do it like this. Share. I can. Damn it. I can share the video. I keep forgetting that I have to unmute myself. Now, what I'm about to play to you is something that Anton Daniels is watching, and I guess he's reacting off of something that Charleston White was discussing about Austin Metcalf, who was the white guy that got stabbed by Carmelo Anthony. And let's just say that, in my opinion, a lot of buck breaking, buck dancing, and he do a lot of cooning. He doing a lot of cooning, and to me, he's right behind it. But just watch. Actually, problem number one. We getting on Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin. This ain't even compared to fucking Trayvon Martin. This case and the Carmelo Anthony case has nothing to do with fucking Trayvon Martin. Two, whether we getting on the Trayvon Martin or the fucking Zimmerman was in the wrong the whole fucking time, and yet you're blaming the child. The guy called the guy. He was coming home, and all he had was fucking Arizona and Skittles, minding his own business, not doing nothing, just walking to mind his business. Zimmerman fucking bothered him. He wasn't bothering nobody. He was minding his own business, being black on a Friday night. I don't know when he this happened, but and then matter of fact, if you hit the phone call, he was like, "I'm going to pursue him." The cop said, "No, don't pursue him." The nigga wanted to be a motherfucking cop and then go anyway. So why the fuck is Charleston White talking about his angry kid? None of that has nothing to do with that night. Like all that has nothing to do with that night. Other than just and then like you put his girlfriend in there, it's like damn, she ain't really had to do that. Like you ain't really have to get on his girl like that too. Like this is what I mean by like people like Charleston White or anybody like this. It's just like you agitate people to the point, and this is to me my biggest problem with Charleston White. Charleston White agitates people to the point where if I see you, I'm fucking you up just on principle. And Charleston White knows this because if I see you, I'm fucking you up on principle because you talking about my kid or you talking about my family. Like he did it to the Island Boys. It's like the Island Boys. He's like, oh, you that ugly ass baby. I was like, you if that was anybody else, you'd have got rocked in your jaw. Like white people has them type of terms. It calls them's fighting words. Like them fighting words. It's just like you know this. It's just like you doing this to be a fucking troll. And then when a nigga wants to counteract you want to call the police. That's a bitch move. That is a bitch move because if anything, I think he should get thrown in jail for that. That's my personal thing. That's my personal thought. Charleston White should get thrown in jail for half of the shit he do. It's just like because you're the one agitating people when they're minding their own business. It's like sometimes, and I seen them do even with the gangbangers. It's just like they minding his own business. So when you agitate them and they say, "Oh, if I see you, you better come correct," it's like you better have that same energy because that's how black people we act on. It's just like if you say when I come see you, it's on site. When I see you, it's on site. And that's just normal black culture. That's just like hell. Even white people are even like that. but especially for black people, we have this type of unwritten rules is like you don't disrespect the dead. You don't disrespect someone's mother. You don't disrespect someone's child. And he breaks all of that. So this is like he's breaking all these rules, these unwritten rules that culturally, I feel like black people, we understand. Like if you talk about someone's mother, especially if they dead, or say fuck your dead ass daddy, because I see it on baddies all the time when girls be like, fuck your dead daddy. And then they start swinging on them. It's just like, and then people get surprised. It's like, well, you talked about his dead dad. What do you think he was going to do? And you think you was just going to walk away? I said, no, you're going to have to see me. You talk about my kids. No, you're going to have to see me. That's just what. To me. I feel like that's just some man shit right there. And I don't think to me, you call the cops on it. You a coward. You a coward. I had someone like that in AI when I was in AI, and like he was first off he was messing with this kid who had autism. Oh, sorry, someone called me. Anyway, he was messing with this kid that had autism, right? And them two, and the kid with autism, he's not a small dude. He was a big dude. They were both like the same height, but he is a bigger stature and built like a kind of brick house. So they was playing the game, and I guess he got mad and tried to do something. Now the autism dude, he's a chef. He can cook his ass off, by the way. But he also like stood up for himself. And these two looked like they was about to fight. Now I broke it up because I was actually in the middle of them two, and I didn't want none of them swinging on me. And I said, both of y'all sit there. So I go to the guy that was agitating them. I was like, why the fuck would you agitate him like that? What if you would have really whooped your ass? And he goes, then I would have called the police. I said, and I look, and I remember saying this verbatim to him. That is a bitch move. Why would you do that? You started it. He was like, so I didn't put the hands on it. I said, that is a bitch move. You can't be doing that. You don't know how these people, because y'all don't understand like how these people gonna act, and y'all expect these people to just take. And white people do this all the fucking time. It's just like y'all gonna be calling these people the N-words and then get mad when we retaliate. What's they saying? 40-year-old version, nigga here. And that's gonna be my other side of rant, where I gotta make sure I get those words correctly. But anyway, let's go back to let's go back to this. He wasn't right, and I don't care about anything. Like I know that it was like stand your ground. I know he's talking about stand your ground, but the whole thing that was bullshit because he was again the kid Trayvon was minding his business. He was minding his own business. You agitated me. He was going home. Why? Because he was a black kid in a hoodie. That was all for some like that's also racist. That's why a lot of people was mad. But I think a lot of people that's when people understood stand your ground. And then like it's funny because it was just like even that part was racial because okay, make sure it was I forgot her name, but I think her name was Marissa Anderson or some shit like that. And she fired off one of the shots to keep her baby daddy and like they just locked her up. But and like they had to fight for that one. That one because that one was okay. Doesn't that count as stand your ground? Because you again, the cop told him not to go, and then like they tried to switch it. I remember the kid said, "Oh no, it was a suggestion," and I was like, "Oh my fucking god, they're doing whatever." Like I think there was a lot of things And this, I hate to be a conspiracy theorist, but that was when I was like, yo. Then I knew he was gonna get off when he said, "Oh, it's a suggestion." And the poor girl, because they was making fun of her too. Her, I was like, bro, we doing too much. I he's gonna say Charleston Beyonce, but I'm gonna be real with y'all. That's it doesn't work like that. They don't do shit. The teachers don't do shit. I know this because my little sister went through this. She told it like some like I'm gonna be real quick with this story because one of these days I'll let her tell you the story. But some dude liked her. She turned him down like regular, not even like tried to embarrass him. She said, "I'm not interested." The nigga hit her with I think a desk or some shit like that, and because I think something was wrong with him. And then like she didn't feel safe. And then like she told the teachers, and then she told my parents. Now I came from a two-parent household, so if you want to talk about anything, I came from a two-parent household. My father was fucking enraged. Walked and like he wanted to put hands on somebody, as he should. That's his daughter, and like when I heard that story, I wanted to find the motherfucker and hit him. I had a bat that I used to walk around with that I was going to swing on him. That's me. Like I'd have went to jail if I'd have saw him. I still don't know what he looked like to this day. Because if I did, I'd have swung on him. Like, and that's just me. I'd have swung on him. But continuing the story, you go to the guidance council. You go to the. We spoke to the people. My parents spoke to the people at school. Both my mother and father went to the school. Spoke to them. He said, "Fuck that." Like the dude that my father spoke to. He used to be a teacher. That he was one of my old teachers. That I think he got promoted to guidance counselor or some shit like that. So and he was, he tried to be all cordial, like Mr. Jameson. My father said, "Fuck that. Someone attacked my daughter. What are y'all going to do about it?" They really didn't do nothing about it. To the point where my father gave my other little sister a switchblade. And like and I think he gave, I don't know if he gave my little sister something too, but one of my little sisters, because I had two little sisters who was going to that school, and he gave one of my little sisters a switchblade. He said, "Anything happens, you cut that motherfucker up. And if he tries to do you again, you cut that motherfucker up." Because the reason why he did that, because them teachers wasn't going to do shit. Matter of fact, he was allowed back to the class, to the same class. They didn't move him. They didn't do shit. So conflict resolution, my fucking ass. Sometimes, and I'm not. I know I'm not telling the story. There was other stories like that. So you know what else would happen? Like at one point, every time my sister went to school, there was someone that was always watching, like on the outside, in case some shit happens. We made sure. Like I walked up to that school one day, like me and my friend Clarence, aka Shiner Wolf. He's been on my podcast. Like he walked up. I walked up there with a bat. She seen me. She was like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Go to class." And this was after I graduated too. We all went to that high school. I graduated. All this happened when after I graduated. So imagine like that shit happened. I wish I was there when he confronted, but I think I had to put my little brother on the bus. But I wanted. I was with the smoke. I was with the smoke. There was times that I was just like, "I'm bringing it back," and they had to tell me no. I was just like, I'd have swung on him. But like conflict resolution, like you're not supposed to bring weapons in school. I understand you're not supposed to bring weapons in school, but if my kid don't feel safe and then y'all not doing anything, what the fuck is the parent supposed to do? Sometimes you got to take matters into your own hands. And also, and I know he's talking about the confinements in the school. This is where I call Charles the White a hypocrite the most, because again, he's that type of person that he'll talk about your dead kids, and then when the people come to him, he either got something on him that he carries, like a pepper spray or some guns or like that. Like to me, that's some hypocritical shit. Even if his guns is licensed, even if that's some hypocritical shit, because you know that you has a target on your back, and these niggas like this is why some of his shows, comedy shows, got shut down because he kept talking about the gangbangers and all that other stuff. He was putting a target on his head to the fact that he had to walk around with protection. And there's a couple times he got caught too. So Mr. Cho, so what he's saying right here is bullshit because he done fucking experienced it himself where his mouth almost got him in trouble. Like again, I wouldn't, and I'm not wishing death upon him, but um, it's just one of those things where it's just like you're gonna reap what you sow, nigga. It's like you gonna reap what you sow, nigga, and like it's gonna happen. This is from because a lot of people because from there's a lot of stories just like it was raining. I think he was trying to get about the rain, and like again, a lot of kids they have stuff to defend themselves because I know they say you're a 4.0 student, lives in a good neighborhood. That don't mean shit. Like people still fuck with you. People still try you. Sometimes you need something to defend yourself with. Maybe the night, it's like, yeah. And again, this is where like a lot of white people they have their hypocrisy because y'all wasn't this agitated with Kyle Rittenhouse. When Kyle Rittenhouse, it's like I know white people that open carry. Trust me, I used to work with one. Cool dude though, but he open carries, and he will tell you he open carries. White, cool ass white boy. And when I was working at Panda Express, he open carries. There's nothing. I say there's nothing illegal with having a knife on it, but it's at the same time it's just like you got to defend yourself. And for what they said, they grabbed him. He's like you the one that caused the problem, and he was much of a problem. They should have called security. But he was trying to get up out the. From what I hear, he was trying to get up out the ring, and everybody was like, "The kid grabbed him," and he warned him. He said, "Hey man," he's like, "Touch me and see what happens." Touch me and see him. Y'all don't realize that, and I say this a lot of white people because y'all used to black, and like in history shows like black people were scared. Like it shows that black people's kind of scared of white people because you're afraid of white people going to do to them. This generation of kids don't give a fuck. It's like you say something racist to them, we gonna catch you. And I've been seeing videos of that. Like, and I don't feel no not a bit of sorriness for them. It was just like when that dude choke slammed that old woman, calling him some racist shit, and he choke slammed the fuck out of him. I was on the boys. I said, well, shouldn't have played stupid games, play stupid prizes. Choke slam the fuck out of him. Some of y'all don't understand this. Anytime where like there was a video where dude, he was just like he was going to Ohio. He was in the Navy and he was trying to fill up the gas tank, and a white boy in front of him said, "Oh, they let colors in." He was like, I'm paraphrasing the story. He was like, "I let colors in. They let colors. They still let color people in." He said something racist to him, and then he just like he grabs it. He said he grabs him, and he was like, "This is your kids. You want to make it to them? You better watch your fucking mouth." He's like, y'all gonna stop fucking with niggas. Niggas will pop off on you. justifiably. And this is the problem I had with Anton Daniels. If this is the other way around, they would call that self defense, and nothing would happen. Oh no, he was just defending himself. It wouldn't be no GoFundmes. It wouldn't be no GoFundmes. The kid wouldn't even go to jail. The kid would not even go to. He wouldn't sniff a jail. Oh, he just self defend himself. He was self defend. Like, look how long it took for them to fucking arrest Calvin Rittenhouse, or even like Anton Daniels convinced me on this bullshit. This way being like that's a little soft showing. He was like, oh, he's doing it because he's black. No, he's doing it because he's innocent. Minding his own fucking bit. Like again, it's just like it's one thing that irritates me is just like when you see black people minding their own business, or like like we're being civil. We're not even being loud, destructive, or nothing. We're being civil. And then like you'll see something, and then you'll see a white person fuck with a black person just off of like I don't remember y'all remember those pranks, the in the hood pranks where these white boys or the I don't know who they were, but they was just fucking with people in the hood, and like they go to damn near almost kill them. They're like, it's a prank, bro. And I remember Ebro saying, this shit's gonna get y'all killed. And lo and behold, it did. I think one of them got killed or some shit like that because you just fucking with the wrong people. You just don't be fucking with people like that. You don't know what the fuck they've been through. You don't know what the fuck they're going through. Going in their head mentally, and then you just gonna be fucking with people like that. You gonna fuck around and find out. Again, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Also, and this is the part that pissed me off, and this is another part that pissed me off. It was like looking for a confrontation. Who looks for a confrontation? Like no kid, black people don't go looking for confrontations. I don't care what anybody says. I understand we got YNs and YNs they crash out and all that other stuff, but a lot of times on the black people are not looking for it. We like our peace. Contrary to the popular belief, black people feel like they peace. So it's just like if we're not, especially when we're not fucking with anybody, if we're not fucking with anybody, we're not going around, oh, I dare nigga. No, sometimes we just looking for a piece. We just trying to chill the fuck out. I guarantee you, like Carmelo was not looking for no confrontation. So I don't know where the fuck did you get that from. And I don't even think Carmelo said like, oh, I was just looking for confrontation. Like no one goes looking for confrontation. So this is other side of bootlicking because it's just like, why would you say some shit like that? Because you obviously you just pick the side, and most of the times with people like him, they'll pick the authority side. It's like, but yeah, this disappointed me. Like there's times where Anton Daniels will disappoint me sometimes. The one thing Charleston White is messing with, and he used birds, and I've seen where it's just like there was a video where it's just like I think a crocodile was fucking with a baby hippo, right? And he was fucking with a baby hippo. It was either a baby hippo or elephant. They stomped the fuck out of that crocodile. It was like you fuck with them. Oh, that crocodile did not make it. He that crocodile was gator boots and pimped out Gucci suits. What they did to that damn gator, it was just unspeakable. Let's just say that. I think I could probably. I think I can find it. Um. Yep, I found it. Yep, I found it. Okay. That's enough of this, stop video. I want y'all to. I, this is exactly what I'm talking about because like what Charleston White is speaking, he's speaking his bullshit, and it's just like you know what, like this is like people coming together when you fuck with their own, right? Now again, damn, the video can't be played.
Again, they visibly delight in one another's company.
Gator boots and pimped out Gucci suits. When you enter the wrong hood, when you try to respond to probably intentionally the last piece of pattern. Again, the story was that gator was fucking with the hippo's child. And that then them hippos jumped them. Yep, hold on, right here.
On the river, a young hippopotamus was suddenly attacked by a crocodile. Immediately, the noise and chaos caught the attention of a nearby herd of hippos. Without hesitation, the entire herd stormed into the water like a furious storm. With their strength and unity, they launched a fierce attack on the crocodile, seemingly determined not to let the predator escape its fate. On the river, a young hippopotamus was suddenly
Gator boots and pimped out Gucci suits. That's what happens. Right? You saw the bit. Y'all seen that, right? Gator boots and pimped out Gucci suits. You tried to fuck with the gator, you fucked around and found out. You fucking with the baby hippo, and them hippos, they saw that and they squatted on them. Right? That's how they handle situations. That's how some situations got to be handled. Right? Now, again, that kid was self-defending himself. And yes, like it's the whole thing about bullying Bill's character and some shit like that. I do agree that like sometimes it does build character. Sometimes you got to stand up to the bully, and I think that's what he did. He was like, "Oh, the bully didn't have to die." I said, also the bully didn't have to go and fuck with him either. It's like the bully didn't have to. Again, you don't know what these people are going through. You don't know if these people, like you don't know what the fuck he's fighting for his life. If someone's fighting for his life, you can't. Oh, you can't be doing that and all that other stuff. Like, talk somebody who's fucking a hypocrite. Like I said, he's a fucking hypocrite because he goes around fucking with other people, gangbangers and all that stuff. And then that's why people had to come up to it. Like, he has to go around with security all the time because he knows that he can't ride around dolo. They'll fuck him up. He's like, oh, fuck you, dad. It's like, fuck you. It's like, and then, like, he'll do some bitch ass coward shit, as in, like, I'm going to tell. No, it's just like to me, it's just like you're causing more problems that you're fixing. And I always say that. It's just like, oh, but he done stuff in the community. I said, this man is doing more problems in the community than fixing. And that's what the problem I have. And then, look, this is another video, and I found this on Twitter because this irritated the fuck out of me as well. And this is what I mean by like subtle racism that like we kind of go through. We don't go through what our parents go through, but this shit right here pissed me off too.
Hey, you're a very personable guy. I can tell, like, just talking to you right now, like, you're a good dude.
Thank you, bro.
And like, just like you're like, no matter what you do, even if God forbid this doesn't work out, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be a good dude.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah,
that means a lot.
Alright, so like, let's say we are gonna watch one of your videos tonight. What would it be? Like, give me one.
What you say, bro?
Yeah. What's your favorite one?
To the right, maybe. A little more to the right. See the TV at least.
Nah.
Yeah, this is our tailgate, so we're more to the right so I can see the fucking TV.
Oh shit! Hey, bro. You gotta talk to him like that, bro. He didn't.
I'm just saying, maybe.
Hey, can you just please?
No, hey, bro. It's okay. Just move.
He doesn't mean like.
It's okay. Move, but
I don't mean to be a
no, but I know, but you have to talk to him like that, bro. I'm saying this is my guy, though, bro. Like, no, but no, but bro, you cursed at him and stuff, bro. All you had to say was, hey, bro, can you please move? It's just respect, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, no. He don't mean it like that.
Is he drunk? Is he drunk?
I don't know, but maybe.
I just don't like disrespect, bro. He can talk to me like that. Don't talk to him like that. He's just doing his job.
Hey, we're good. Hey,
let's just respect each other, bro. For sure.
I'm not trying to be.
No, yeah.
You cussed at him, bro.
Bro, he's in the fucking way the TV is my tailgate. I can see
You didn't have to cuss at him, though, bro. He's not a child, bro.
What's the problem?
He just,
Hey, back up. What's the problem?
no, he just cussed at my bro, and I was like,
He said y'all get up. He asked you to get up. Hey, what's the problem?
Is he drunk? Because if he's drunk, then it's okay. I'm
What's the
not.
problem?
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
No, nobody was arguing with him or nothing. He just cursed at him like he was a child. And I was like, hey, bro, you don't
Okay, it's over, buddy.
You know? No, I'm just explaining to you what happened.
Okay.
For sure.
Appreciate it. Good. Have a good day.
For sure.
Don't walk over to him.
I'm not walking towards him. I'm walking that way.
Make sure so. You see what I mean by like causing more trouble than you need to? Like, you see how like this shit just shoot. The whole vibe just changed and all that other stuff, and like you see the way he was just like he said, you ain't have to curse her. You ain't have to curse her. You just starting shit, right? Like, I understand that's his tailgate and all that other stuff, but again, like, there are kind of nicer ways to ask this shit. And then, like, you could tell with the father, I guess that's their parents, the way he came out there, he was just like, oh, like, he just, like, you look like you wanted to start some shit. Like, oh, this was where he was being cool. Obviously, they was having a conversation. Obviously, they was just being cool. He was chilling. It was like he wasn't causing no problems. Again, if he was in the way of the TV, just excuse me, could you move to the right a little bit so we can watch TV? Like, and then what are you supposed to do? It's like, yo, don't curse at him like that. And then you can tell he was telling him to shut the fuck up. It's just like, you see how you had to step there. Again, and like this shit, this shit, in my opinion, that be irritating people. And I know some bootlickers that would just defend the white people, and it's just like, and I call out the crooning. Trust me, I be calling out the crooning. I said, yo, some of y'all need to sit up. And like, to me, it's nothing worse than a black coon, because even with the Karmelo Anthony, like, a lot of black conservatives are just coming at him, and it was just like, it is sad to see. It is just, and then they want to talk about the black communities and all that other stuff. It's just like, the man's a 4.0 student, and it's just why he had to have a fucking knife on him. I said, why the fuck Kyle Rittenhouse had to have the fucking gun on him? Why do open state people got to fucking have a gun on them in places where they don't need the fucking gun at? People like to pick and choose, like, what the fuck they. That shit bugs the hell out of me. And this is where I've been seeing, like I said, I've been seeing a lot where it's like black folks are just retaliating on white people and all that stuff. Even the Carmelo Anthony is just like, and I always go, it serves you right because black people we don't start shit, we damn sure will finish it, but we don't start shit. If we're not there to fuck with people, we're not there to like cause a. I see it like hell. I was even finding a video of this. I was going down a rabbit hole. I was going down like there was a video of I guess he was driving in a neighborhood and these white people vandalized their car. Vandalized his car. Why are you vandalizing his car? You didn't pay for the car. And the kid was 16. And you vandalized his car. And then like I think one of them had a gun on him. It's like you the one with the gun on him. And the same thing with this kid, he was just a black kid. He was just not bothering nobody. He was walking down the street. And he probably saw someone he said hi. And then yet you had these white people following him down the street. Like just following him. It's like, why are you in his neighborhood? And then it's just like he not bothering nobody, you bothering him. And yet he say something, one of them wants to go in the joint and like pull out a gun. And I was like, are we doing this now? And that's in the back of your head. He's like, oh, we doing this now? Like white people get like to show at your ass sometimes. Like black people like I understand we have our crash outs, we have our YNs, but white people they are more prone to crash out than y'all think, especially like to some black people. And even then, it's just like I've had my experiences. These people not had their experiences, and like again, like I'm not even half of these people. I don't even act like this. Like most of the time, I'm like can we all just get along? But sometimes I do so when I see videos like this, and then like I'll be justified. It serves you right because because it's just most of the time, and it's just like most of the times. I'm trying to get myself together because, like I said, this shit triggered me. Most of the times, I watch stuff like this, and it gets triggering because, like, you can tell the black kids ain't doing nothing. When you see black people just mind their own business and then people just fuck with them, and then you want to play victim, and then everybody wants to play victim. This is what I mean about racial ignorance. Like, and then you see it going on, and then yet you still want to justify it. You want to justify what's, or then you want to put on the works. It's just like he fucked up, And then I'm pretty sure they're gonna bring up George Floyd again. Like I remember watching this, and like I still have not gone through that whole video about Karmelo Anthony and Anton Daniels. I shut it off. Because it's just like, like some of you don't live in reality. You don't like you don't. And I guess that's what irritates me is that like as black people we have to explain like this shit goes on. We have visual evidence of this shit going on, and then y'all still want to choose the side. It's like the bootlicking got to stop. And that's what I mean with Charleston White. It's like the bootlicking got to stop. Anti-native, sometimes that bootlicking got to stop. Some of this shit is just you find out bootlicking shit that you're going around and stop. There's another dude that I conveniently go off on Instagram because that man is a coon. He is a certified coon. And I remind him every fucking time that he is a coon. I don't stalk his page none of that, but then it's just like he has no Instagram joint, and then like you can see the black person ain't doing nothing, or or he responded to something. Oh, you see how these blacks are angry? It was like you have no context, and yet you just throwing this out. But that dude was a coward, and he a whole bitch himself. He a bitch ass nigga himself because he tried to go at one of my homeboys like he was some type of stuff, and he said pull up and see what happens. One of my homeboys like pull up and see what happens. Next time we saw him, he ain't do nothing. So he a coward himself. And I don't even speak like this. And I'll tell you the truth, I'm really not like this. Like all this tough talk. It's like I'm not even like the dude that talk tough and all that other shit. But some shit irritate me where I go, no, you a bitch ass nigga. And for me to say that to you, that is something. I say this all the time. I don't go around looking for confrontations. I don't go around looking for like squabbles, right? I'm more or less. You see me, I do my job, I go home. But even then, there's some shit where I look at, I say, nah, yo, you a fucking coward. You a bitch ass nigga. And it's just like I don't get like we can see about it. I've been in, like I said, I used to have no, like I said, I used to crash out when I was young too, because that's probably where it comes from. The young, I can't believe I talked for a full hour. I haven't done that in a minute. I guess that's why I knew what I was getting into when I turned this into a live video. Let's see this is so okay, and I'm almost done. I'm almost done. But yeah, in conclusion, this bootlegging has to stop. Um, some of this stuff I see from our own black people, it just got to stop. It's just got. I don't even think we're gonna move forward until we get some of these bootleggers, some of these cones, and some of these white apologists out because like some of this shit, like white supremacy apologists. Excuse me, white supremacy apologists. Sometimes we gotta stop. But like I said, I got white people I call brothers, like, and they voted for. I got people that Trump supporters, and I go to bat for them too. Don't get me wrong, and because like me and them been through blood, sweat, and tears. But motherfucking, there's some people that's just like, and even in the Navy, like I said, there's some people where it's just like I literally like if I'd have saw them, and I'm not a fighter. I'm not a fighter. It was like if I have to throw hands with you, let's do this. It's just like because even I go like I'm one of those dudes that like you can talk it out before we go, but I'm also like sometimes you got to beat a nigga's ass just to show him why you shouldn't be fucked with. And I feel like that's what black people are on right now. Like we're at that moment, especially in this generation, where and shout out to the generation before, because I'm not saying that, but I think we're just at that point where it's just like, oh no, you're not gonna do us like you did our grandparents. I'm gonna retaliate and I'm gonna put you in the ground. Like you're not gonna get away with saying nothing racist and not get away with it. If I could, I would. I'm putting my fucking hands on you. Now, like I said, some of these white people don't call the cops, all that other stuff. But black people, we got street justice because we work on. That's the thing about black people. We work on street justice because we know the cops is not going to do shit. We know sometimes the people in the system is not going to do shit. We know people in the schools, even though you say go tell the teacher's not going to do shit. You go to some of these jobs and like you steal from Walgreens or some shit like that. You know what they tell you? Don't do nothing. So most of these people, they're not going to do shit. So, which is why most black people we handle things the way we do. We handle it streetwise. It's like I remember shout out to D Wolf because like me and D Wolf had this conversation. It's just about vigilantism, and like I know it got him into kind of like a argument with Xavier, but because Xavier, shout out to Xavier, he'll call the cops, but D Wolf, he's a vigilante. He's Batman. He will Batman the fuck out of you. So shout out to D Wolf. But this is the shit that I feel like I always had a problem with, and that's my rant. Uh, that's my rant. I haven't been on this. I knew I was going to talk about this, but I didn't think it was going to go this far. So let me know if y'all stuck around this long, hear me rant this long. I appreciate you. But let me know how y'all feel about the whole situation. Till then, my name is Oskino Fly, and I'm out. Peace.